Hello, everyone. This is Desiree. I am pleased and excited to be a part of the Unmute community. You can now find Learning Blind Tech with Desiree Renae on the Unmute Presents podcast feed. So if you type in Unmute Presents in your favorite podcatcher, you'll be able to find Learning Blind Tech with Desiree Renae. There is also a whole lot of content on Unmute Presents, such as Digital Bites, Mac Chat, and At Your Fingertips. So check us out at unmute.show or Unmute Presents in your podcatcher, and you can also email us at feedback@unmute.show. You can still find Learning Blind Tech with Desiree Renae on my website, and that is www.DesireeRenae.com. Happy learning! Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learning Blind Tech with Desiree Renae. Today, I want to talk about an app called Voice Vista. Now, I hadn't used this app very often, although I've had it for quite a while. And just recently, I decided to try using it again because I am walking around my neighborhood with my guide dog and trying to figure out what streets are there and where I'm at. And it's really helping me to learn my neighborhood and kind of the way things are here. And Voice Vista has been really helpful in doing that. I use it with my Meta glasses, and I can just put my phone in my pocket and lock it, and Voice Vista is running, and it tells me how fast I'm going, which direction I'm traveling in, and the streets and things around me. So today I want to take you through just a little bit of using Voice Vista and setting it up and all of the different features that it has. The first thing I'm going to do is open the app. And when you open the app, it automatically starts telling you what's around you. So I'm going to open the app now.
Voice Vista. Voice Vista. What's around me?
Facing northeast. Nearest road, Southeast Kempton Court, is 100 feet to the left. Marker, near Southeast Kempton Thumb, 23 feet to the right. Accuracy, 16 feet, facing northeast.
So it's telling me now kind of what's around me, some of the markers that I've set up, and which way I'm facing. Now, I'm inside my office, so I'm not outside right now. If I were, it would tell me which way I was traveling, if I was walking, and that kind of thing. So let's check out the tabs at the bottom of this app.
Tab bar, selected, surroundings, tab, 1 of 4.
So that's the surroundings tab, and that's what it opens at by default when you open the app. So it tells you kind of all of what's around you and any markers that you've set, as well as landmarks and waypoints and different things. Let's go to the next tab.
Markers, tab, 2 of 4.
So this is the markers tab. If I double tap here,
Filter markers, search field.
so there's a search button at the top where you can search for your markers or filter them. Let's swipe right and see what else we have.
Refresh, button. Sorted by distance, button.
Sorted by distance, so it's going to tell you the closest ones first.
Add, button.
And here's where you can add a marker. So you would basically, wherever you're standing, if you decide to create a marker, you just name it, and then it saves it in these markers, and it will tell you every time you come across that marker when you're walking.
Current location, button. Actions available.
So there's current location, and it says actions available. Let's see what we can do with that.
Actions, activate share current. Save current. Activate default.
So you can share it or save it. So I saved this location as my home marker. So I can do that here. That's where you would save this current location as your marker.
POIs nearby, button.
Now here are points of interest nearby. Let's go into that and see what we have.
Current location, button. Act all POIs, button. Public transit, button. Food and drink, button. Education, button. Transportation, button. Groceries, button. Banks and ATMs, button. Healthcare, button. Entertainment, button. Public service, button. Facilities, button. Pedestrian crossings, button. Others, button. Places data come from Apple Maps, OpenStreetMap, and Overture Maps.
Okay, so that's where it tells you it pulls from Apple Maps and 2 other map sources where it pulls the points of interest from. And you can double tap on any of those buttons to see what point of interests are near you in those categories. So let's go back out of this.
Markers, back button. POIs nearby, button. Nikki bus stop, 114 feet. Ahead. Nearest recent intersections nearby, button. Recent callouts, button.
And you can even set one of your recent callouts as a marker. So if you pass that point of interest and you want to, I want to mark that coffee shop or that grocery store, you can set that in one of your callouts.
Near S.E. Kenton Tome, 36 feet. Behind to the right. Actions available.
So there it has my marker that's my house set. If I go forward some more, I'll find the other markers I've created.
Nikki bus stop, 114 feet. Ahead.
So it tells you all of the details for that marker. So that one I've created, and I did it because it's kind of in the middle of the sidewalk to find where her school bus picked up. I had to create that marker just so I could find it pretty easily if I have Voice Vista running.
Near Southeast Mead Hill Avenue, hill right turn, 165 feet. Ahead to the right.
So this is the hill kind of that I've marked. And I did that because when I was using my cane, sometimes I would miss that turn. And that takes me down to the staircase that I use that goes down to the main street that I travel along to get to different places.
Near S.E. Mead Hill Ave staircase, Sunnyside, 175 feet.
So there's the staircase coming back. So as I'm walking on the sidewalk, it'll tell me that I'm approaching that marker. Now, my dog actually finds that. But with the cane, sometimes, unless I am trailing or shorelining all throughout, I can easily miss that turn.
Sidewalk to mailbox, 270 feet. To the left. Address unknown, button.
And there's the sidewalk to my mailbox.
Grocery outlet ends, 0.3 miles. Behind to the left. Actions available.
And there's the entrance to grocery outlet. For a while with the cane, I struggled to find that. I had to count trees and driveways and posts and different things. And as we well know, like when we're traveling along a street, it's easy to kind of get your orientation. But when you turn into a parking lot, it's a mess. And sometimes it's really hard to find the entrance. You're going around cars and moving people and carts and all kinds of things.
Near 0.82 miles. To the right, Fred Meyer, 0.9 miles. To the right.
There's Fred Meyer, where I actually have walked to before, and I have that set as a marker as well because I do it frequently.
Create markers for your favorite destinations, waypoints on a route, or any locations you want called out. Tap the refresh button in the top right corner to recalculate relative directions based on the current direction. Change road or links option in shortcut settings to hide nearby posts and similar links in the Markers tab.
So those are your options that you can do with the markers. You can set waypoints, you can set points of interest, you can set pretty much anything as a marker. So that's all for the Markers tab. Now let's go to the next one here.
Select Routes, tab, 3 of 4.
Now this is Routes, so I'm going to double tap.
Routes, heading. Route settings, button.
Now, here's where I would set different things for the routes, what's going to be called out and all of that. So let's go into the route settings.
Routes, back button. Route settings, heading. Waypoint switching distance, 49 feet, button. Route guidance switch to the next waypoint as you approach the current waypoint.
So there's not too much in the settings. You can change the amount of feet that it starts announcing your waypoint or your marker or your point of interest. It's by default set at 49 feet. You can make it closer or further away, whatever you feel like. And that's, if you're walking, 49 feet is pretty accurate. I find that when it says approaching a marker, I'm pretty much almost there. So it says that it's 16 feet accuracy or whatever while you're walking, but I find that it's pretty spot on when it says approaching staircase. You're almost there, like maybe 3 or 4 feet. So let's get out of settings now.
Routes, heading. Route settings, button, sorted by distance, button. Add, button.
So here's where you can add a route. So if you go into here, double tap.
Add, alert. Add a route. Create a new route, button.
I can create a new route. So let's double tap here and see what we have.
Alert. Create a new route. Text field is editing. Route name. Insertion point at start.
So that's where I would name my route.
Annotation. Text field. Add waypoints for markers. Button. Cancel. Button.
So I can actually set this route up while I'm walking. So let's say I'm with somebody and I want to mark different parts of a route so that I can do it by myself. I would go into this area, I would create the route, and I would start walking. And as I stand at different places, I can mark them so that it's like waypoints and markers along the route. And then once I've created it, I can pull it up anytime I need to when I'm ready to use that route. So it's pretty easy to do. You can actually also create a route to a location. So if you know you're wanting to go to the grocery store, then you can pick that as your destination. And then while you're on that route, you can set different waypoints and markers when you approach them or you're at them.
Cancel. Button.
So I'm going to cancel that. Let's keep going through routes here.
To Fred Meyer, July 8th, 2025 at 11:12 a.m. Button.
So that's a route that I took on July 8th most recently, and I used Voice Vista when I did that.
Eat coffee to home. Button. Actions available.
And that's Pete's Coffee to home. So Briar and I go to the coffee shop quite often just for a quick walk. And that's how you would get home from there if I wanted to go from the door, mark the turn where I turn out of the parking lot onto the street, whatever I need to mark there.
Create a route for yourself or for someone else by organizing a set of waypoints. While out on your route with Voice Vista, you will be informed on arrival to each waypoint, and the audio beacon will automatically advance to the next waypoint.
So I can create a route, and I can have it for me, or I can share it with someone else who uses Voice Vista, and then they would be able to access that route and all the waypoints and markers that I've created as part of the route. So those are all the route settings. Let's go to the next tab here.
Marker selected. Routes. Tab. 3 of settings. Tab. 4 of 4.
And this is the settings tab. So I'm going to double tap here.
Settings. Heading.
All right. So I'm in settings. Let's go forward here. Swipe right.
Automatic callouts. Heading. Allow automatic callouts. Switch button. On.
So if I don't want the automatic callouts of what's around me, I can turn that off. So if I just want to hear my markers or my waypoints, and I don't care about the automatic points of interest that are called out, like bus stops and shops and that kind of thing, I can turn that off.
Callouts only when in surroundings tab. Switch button. Off.
So if I want the callouts to only be when I'm in the surroundings tab versus like a route, I can turn that feature on as well.
POI settings. Button.
So here is your POI settings. Let's go into that and see what we have.
POI super category options. Heading. Walking scenario. Button. Driving scenario. Button. Exploring scenario. Button. You can customize which super category POIs are announced for different scenarios. POI announcing options. Heading.
So you can customize it when you want to set driving or walking. You can decide what is going to be announced during those times for points of interest. So when I'm walking, let's say.
Walking scenario. Button. POI super category options. Heading. Places. Switch button. On.
So here's where you can toggle these different categories on and off.
Landmarks. Switch button. On. Bus stops. Switch button. On. Information points. Switch button. On. Mobility facilities. Switch button. On. Safety spots. Switch button. On. Objects. Switch button. Off.
Objects. Now that's fascinating. I haven't tried that. I'm going to turn it on just for the heck of it. It's probably going to drive me insane. But
on.
I'm turning it on.
Pedestrian crossings. Switch button. On. POI settings. Back button.
Okay, so let's go back now. I've turned something else on that the next time I go for a walk, it might make things pretty interesting. It might say, oh, you're going to hit a trash can or something like that. I don't know how it knows because I don't believe that it uses the camera. I don't know. It's going to be something I'll play with next time I'm out. So I'm going to go back out of this.
POI announcing options. Heading.
Okay, so now let's go to the POI announcing options and see what we have here.
Distance and direction to the POI. Switch button. On.
Yep, so I can get the distance and direction. And it does say to your right or to your left. It also will say traveling east, west, north, south, all that good stuff.
Category of the POI, switch button, on.
And it does which category that it falls in. So it'll say marker, such and such, or bus stop, 157th and Sunnyside, whatever the bus stop is that you are approaching.
POI sensing ranges, heading. Places, 66 feet, button. Landmarks, 164 feet, button.
Landmarks, so it'll say approaching when you're 164 feet away from it. I kind of like that, so I know what's coming. So I'm going to leave that alone.
Bus stops, 98 feet, button.
Bus stops are 98 feet.
Information points, 66 feet, button. Mobility facilities, 66 feet, button. Safety spots, 33 feet, button. Objects, 33 feet, button. Pedestrian crossings, 66 feet, button. In walking mode, ranges define call-out distances for detected points in different supercategories. These ranges are multiplied by 6 in driving mode.
Okay, so if you're in driving mode, those are going to be multiplied by 6 so that, because you're moving faster, it's going to tell you a lot sooner.
Voice and sound, heading.
All right, now here's the voice and sound options.
Voice settings, Nikki, 0.75, button.
Okay, so I have the Nikki voice right now that I'm using for Voice Vista. I can change this to something else if I double tap.
Voice volume, heading. Voice volume, 75%, adjustable.
And let's
Live recognition,
actually
adjust value.
turn this up.
85%, 95%, 100%. On foot speaking
How
rate.
does this sound?
On foot speaking rate, 55%, adjustable.
That's fine.
In vehicle speaking rate, heading. In vehicle speaking rate, 75%, adjustable.
So when I'm driving, it's going to talk a lot faster because I'm moving faster, and so it's going to tell me more quickly what I'm passing in the car.
English, heading. Aaron, United States.
Okay, so here are the different voices you can pick from.
Alex, enhanced, United States. Bad news, United States. Ba, United States. Bells, United States. Boing, United States.
So these are all voices that are in iOS that it's pulling from. And you can pick any of these or sample them if you want to. I've picked Nikki because I think it's kind of a lower voice and it helps to have a different voice than what my voiceover voice is. That way I can tell the difference between something coming in through voiceover and through Voice Vista. And I believe that you can actually turn your speech off in voiceover so that you only get the Voice Vista voice.
POI settings, back button.
So I'm going to go back to settings here.
Voice settings, Nikki, 1.00, button. POI sound settings, 0.75, button.
Okay, so each of the points of interest have different sounds. It's got a little bell sound for the bus stop and a different sound for the marker. So when you hear those noises, you know, and then it just says bus stop.
POI sound effect volume, heading.
Now this is the sound effects.
Other sound effect volume, 75%, adjust POI sound effect options, heading. Places, switch button, on.
So if I want to turn the sound effects off for certain places, I can do that.
Landmarks, switch button, on.
So you can toggle it for all of your options here. So let's back out
POI
of
sound
this.
effect volume, heading. POI settings, back button. POI sound settings, 0.75, button. Super category definition, heading. Super category definitions, button.
Okay, so this is where you can define the super categories you have. So if you don't really want to know safety facilities or mobility places or whatever, you can turn all of that on and off in that menu.
Tab bar, surroundings, tab, 1 of 4.
Okay, so now I've set all of this up the way I want it, and I would go back to the surroundings tab.
Selected, surroundings, tab, 1 of 4. What's my location? Button.
Now within this, I can actually press any of these buttons. So if I want to know what my location is, I would just press what's my location.
Facing south. Nearest road, Southeast Kempton Court, is 84 feet behind to the right.
Okay, it gave me the address there, but I did take it out so that, it's not podcasted. But so that will tell me kind of my location and which direction I'm facing.
What's around me? Button.
Now I can say,
Actions available.
what's around me? Press this button.
Marker, near Southeast Kempton, 24 feet, ahead to the left. Happy Valley Printing and Design, Printing Services, 116 feet, ahead to the right. Marker Nikki Bus Stop, 128 feet, behind. Southeast Sunnyside and 152nd Bus Stop, 355 feet, ahead to the right.
Okay, so now I can tell what the closest bus stop is. It doesn't say which bus goes there, but it does tell you which bus stop, so you can check your bus app and figure out where the bus that stops there goes.
What's ahead of me? Button.
Now I can do
Actions available.
what's ahead of me.
Southeast Sunnyside and 152nd Bus Stop, 357 feet, ahead to the right. Crosswalk, 427 feet, ahead to the right. Crosswalk, 450 feet, ahead to the right. Footway, 494 feet, ahead to the right.
Okay, so that's just generally what's around me. If I was out and about, it would tell me what street crossings were in front of and behind me to my right or my left. And this is really handy if I want to just take the dog for a walk. And yesterday, for example, I walked through the neighborhood and kind of was able to get off of the big traffic street, but still know where I was. And it was really cool.
Repeat last call out. Button.
And you
Actions
can
available.
have it repeat the last thing that it called out. So
Footway, 488 feet, ahead to the right.
that was the last thing that it said when I checked what's around me.
Beacon not started. Automatic call out enabled. No navigation instruction. Button.
Navigation instruction. Let's go here.
Accuracy. 21 feet. Button. Facing south. If you've enabled media controls in the shortcut settings, press the previous button on your headphones to repeat the last call out.
So you can, if you're wearing a headset, you can use the buttons on there to repeat the last call out and different things. I personally like to use my metas because it doesn't impact my hearing while I'm out. And it's really neat because the sound, if it tells you that something's coming on the right or the left, it does it in that ear on your glasses. Let's get out of that and see what the next setting option is.
POI settings. Button. Beacon settings. Button.
Okay, beacon settings. So if you set something as a beacon in that area, you can set your distance, all of that stuff, and what kind of sound it's going to make. You can't change the sound, but you can change the volume of the sound that the beacons make. You can also set it to mute automatically when you get a certain distance away from the beacon. I would recommend having a shorter distance. That way you get as close as you possibly can before it turns the sound off if it's really something you're looking for. I typically use it for things like my mailbox or something that I might need to really get close to.
Route settings. Button.
And route settings, you can set up your announcements and distance that it announces things and that kind of thing.
Navigation settings. Button.
Navigation settings, you can set it up to tell you and how often it tells you where you're going. If it calls out the direction you're going, if it uses relative directions or cardinal directions, whatever you want to set up there.
Road information settings. Button.
And this is where you would uncheck, if you don't want it to announce unnamed roads, you would uncheck that. But the rest of it, I pretty much leave it alone. I want to hear all the roads.
A house number settings. Button.
House number settings is really interesting. I put that as close as I possibly could so that when I'm actually at the house, like 16 feet away or, around there, it will tell me the house number. So that's a pretty neat feature.
GPS information settings. Button.
And that's where you can set up which mode you're in, what it announces in walking mode or driving mode. It can announce different GPS things based on what you set up for your points of interest and roads and intersections and markers.
General settings. Button.
Then you have your general settings. Let's see what's in there.
Language. English. Button.
Okay, you can change your language.
Style settings. Heading. Units of measure. Imperial. Feet. Button. Direction of style. Relative direction. Button.
So it does do relative direction. I can change that.
Alert. Change direction style. Current. Relative direction. None. Button. Absolute direction. Button. Clock position. Button. Degrees direction. Button. Not now. Button.
Okay, so I can change it to clock direction 3 o'clock instead of saying right. You can change it to absolute direction. So north, south, east, west. That's, I guess, the cardinal direction setting. I'm going to leave mine on relative for now, but it will tell me sometimes as I'm walking which direction I'm traveling in, which I really like. I don't even have to open my compass app. I can actually just hear it telling me how fast I'm walking and which direction I'm going in.
Direction. External Maps app. Apple Maps. Button.
So external Maps app, it's using Apple Maps.
Alert. Change current. Apple Maps. Google Maps.
I
Button.
can change it to Google Maps.
Not now. Button.
Or not now. I think it does have Google Maps as a choice because I have that installed on my phone. So I'm going to stick with Apple Maps for now because I'm used to it, but I might at some point try Google Maps and see if I get different information.
Sensing settings. Heading. Close by threshold. 16 feet. Button.
Okay. So that's just the sensing settings. So how far away is it going to start the sensor for you?
Voices and sounds. Heading.
Voices and sounds.
Voice settings. Nikki. 1.00. Button.
I have Nikki set here. You can pretty much use any voice that's on your iPhone, and you can set up the one you want to have.
Beacon sound settings. Current. 0.75. Button.
That's the volume of the beacon when you actually have that going.
POI sound settings. 0.75. Button.
And that's the POI announcement sound.
Head tracking headphones. Heading. Apple AirPods. Button.
Ah.
Expert settings. Heading. Hide rotor links and markers tab. Switch button. Off. Hide hint footers. Switch button. Off. Experts can hide hint footers and redundant rotor links to reduce distractions.
So there's a couple other options there. If you have AirPods, you can use that as kind of your head tracking. I wear my Metas. It does not necessarily track the Metas themselves. It's tracking the movement of the phone. It's not using the camera on the Metas or anything like that. That would be a really cool feature if they added that too. It's going to go based on the position of your phone unless you're wearing your AirPods and you set that up. I don't like walking with my AirPods in my ears because I feel like I can't hear externally. Even in transparent mode, it's really hard to hear.
Settings. Back button.
All right, let's go back out of settings.
General settings. Shortcut settings. Button.
Shortcut settings. Now, let's go into this for a minute.
Siri shortcuts. Button.
Okay. Now you can set up Siri shortcuts.
Shake motion response. None. Button.
You can have it do something when you shake it.
Enable media controls. Switch button. Off.
And you can enable media controls, which means if you're wearing a headset, the previous button, like the previous track button, will repeat the last thing that it called out and that kind of thing. But let's go into shortcut settings for a minute.
Shake Siri shortcuts. Button.
Siri shortcuts.
What's my location? Change or remove. Button.
Okay, so I've already added a lot of these. So I've got
What's my location?
what's my location?
Change or what's around me? Change or remove.
What's around
button.
me?
What's ahead of me?
What's ahead of
Change
me?
or remove. Ear markers nearby.
Ear
Change or
markers
remove.
nearby.
Button. Search in Voice Vista. Add shortcut. Button.
Okay, search in Voice Vista. Let's add it just so you know what it's like to add one. I'm going to go into it, double tap.
Edit in shortcuts. Button. Image. Hey Siri. Search in Voice Vista. Text field. Shortcut added. To use it, say this phrase to Siri. Change voice phrase. Button. Done. Button.
Okay, I'm going to hit done. So it added it to my Siri
Shortcut
shortcuts.
settings. Back button. After adding Siri shortcuts, you will be able to use your voice to invoke them even when Voice Vista is not running.
So that's how the shortcuts work. Pretty cool. So that's the settings tab.
Enter text to search for places. Search field.
If I double tap here,
Insertion point at search field is editing. Enter text to search for places. Character mode. Insertion point at start.
and let's see, let's look for Starbucks.
Cap S. Cap at T. T. A. A. R.
I'm just going to type star and see what I get here.
Search results. Starbucks, middle dot cafe, 0.37 miles. Behind Morningstar Assisted Living and Memory Care, middle dot social facility, 0.51 miles. Behind to the right.
Wow.
14,391 Southeast Princeton Village Way. Button. Actions available.
It gives the address of that, so that's pretty cool. So not only does it tell you how far away it is from you, it also gives you the address. So if you're wanting to know the exact address of something, you can find it here.
Starbucks, middle dot cafe, 0.92 miles. Ahead to the left. 17005 Southeast Sunnyside Road, button. Actions available.
That's the one that's in the Fred Meyer. So that's how you would search for a place. And if you tap on any of these places,
Morningstar Assisted Living, Morningstar Assisted Living and Memory Care. Social Facility, Start Beacon, button.
I can start the beacon here. And this is where it will save that as my beacon. And as I get closer to it, I can hear, it'll keep telling me it's this close, it's this close. You can also create a route to this location.
Start Monitoring, button.
You can start monitoring.
Street Preview, button.
Street Preview. So if I want to get some directions, I'm going to double tap here.
Explore and get a sense of an area anywhere in the world. For the best experience, we recommend that you stand up to turn in place and use stereo headphones. You will be teleported to the middle of the street near the location you selected. Using the phone as a pointer, slowly turn, and the street names will be called out as you turn. When you are facing the street you want to go down, tap go and you will advance to the next intersection. At each intersection, you can use the phone again to choose which road to go down, or you can explore your immediate surroundings using the familiar Voice Vista buttons. Enjoy and have fun.
Oh, this is cool. I have not played with this feature. I didn't even know where it was. So I had to go and search places to find it. Let's see what happens when I go here.
Continue, button.
I'm going to continue.
Street Preview, button. Close, button. Morningstar Assisted Living and Memory Care Street Preview, heading. Enable unnamed roads, button. Getting things ready, ellipsis. Progress, 75%.
Okay, it's getting my simulation ready here. And let's see what happens now. It's taking it a bit.
What's ahead of me? Button.
Ooh.
Starting Street Preview at Southeast 145th Avenue and Southeast Sunnyside Road. Morningstar Assisted Living and Memory Care, 355 feet. Turn your phone to preview available roads. Southeast Sunnyside Road, heading to east.
I'm turning the phone.
Southeast Sunnyside Road, heading to east. Next intersection, Southeast 147th Avenue and Southeast Sunnyside Road. 655 feet.
Using the phone as a pointer, slowly turn, and the street names will be called out as you turn. When you are facing the street you want to go down, tap go and you will advance to the next intersection. At each intersection, you can use the phone again to choose which road to go down, or you can explore your immediate surroundings using the familiar Voice Vista buttons at the bottom of the screen. Previous, button. Go, button.
Go.
Go, button.
Approaching intersection. Southeast 147th Avenue, goes left. Southeast Sunnyside Road, continues ahead. Southeast 147th Avenue, goes right. Southeast 147th Avenue, heading to north. Southeast 1. Next intersection, Southeast Sunnyside Road, Southeast Misty Drive, and Southeast 147th Avenue.
Go, button.
Okay.
Go, button.
Turn left, now along Southeast 147th Avenue. Approaching intersection.
Oh.
Southeast Sunnyside Road, goes left. Southeast Misty Drive, continues ahead. Southeast Sunnyside Road, goes right. Continuing along Southeast Misty Drive. Approaching intersection. Southeast Autumnwood Lane, goes left. Southeast Misty Drive, continues ahead. Southeast Autumnwood Lane, goes right. Southeast Autumnwood Lane.
Preview, go, button.
Okay.
Go, button.
Continuing along Southeast Autumnwood Lane. Approaching intersection. Southeast Donley Lane, goes left. Southeast Donley Lane, goes right.
Go, button.
Turn to select a road and then press go.
Go, button.
Turn right, now along Southeast Donley Lane. Approaching intersection. Southeast Verley Street, goes left. Southeast Verley Street, goes right. Southeast Verley Street, heading to southeast.
Okay, so that's just a taste of what it does to kind of get you through the different places. I'm going to get out of this now.
Ending Voice Vista Street Preview.
Voice Vista, Start Beacon, button.
So you can kind of get a preview of the route using that option. It's pretty cool. I'm going to play with that some more too. I wasn't standing up, so it does say you should stand up and turn around and, dance around, figure out where you're going. So that's something that I will play with a little bit more too. So now we've gone through all of that. I want to take you through actual travel with Voice Vista. So the first thing I did was I created a marker for my mailbox and the sidewalk that goes to my mailbox. It's about a block and a half or so away, so it's not right in front of my house. I have to go to this mailbox bank. So what I'm going to play now is actually me using Voice Vista to find the mailbox.
To sidewalk to mailbox 1, 80 feet, northeast.
Come on. Come on, we're going to go left. Left.
To sidewalk to mailbox 1, 107 feet, northeast. To sidewalk to mailbox 1, 236 feet, behind. Approaching intersection. Southeast Kempton Court, goes left. Sunrise Heights Homeowners Association Trails, goes right. To sidewalk to mailbox 1, 182 feet, ahead to the left. To sidewalk to mailbox 1, 69 feet, ahead to the right.
We're getting closer.
To sidewalk to mailbox 1, 49 feet, ahead to the left. To sidewalk to mailbox 1 is nearby. 162 feet, arrive at the destination. Marker sidewalk to mailbox, 28 feet, northwest. Near Southeast 152nd Avenue. Intersection with Southeast Meadville Avenue 177 feet away. Marker sidewalk to mailbox, 27 feet, ahead to the left.
The left?
To sidewalk to mailbox 3 is nearby. Route complete.
So that's that recording. Now I want you to see what it's like when you're driving. So I took a little snippet of when I was riding in a car and we had the windows down and just some things that Voice Vista reports. Now remember, in driving mode, it talks faster because it has to keep up with your moving faster. So you'll notice that the speed of the voice is quite a bit faster in driving mode.
Circle of Honor, Memorial, 294 feet, to the right. Approaching Service Road and walking path. Traveling east along Courthouse Road. Intersection with Service Road ahead. Approaching Courthouse Road and Beaver Creek Road.
In 1.2 miles, turn left onto Highway 213.
North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District, 174 feet, ahead to the right. Circle of Honor, Memorial, 235 feet, ahead to the right. Approaching King Road and Beaver Creek Road. Sabre Forge, Commercial, 63 feet, ahead to the right. Approaching Red Soils Court and Beaver Creek Road. Traveling east along Beaver Creek Road. Intersection with Danielson Drive ahead. Department of Human Services, yes, 178 feet, to the left. Approaching Danielson Drive and Toll Place. 402 Beaver Creek Road, Oregon City. Approaching Danielson Drive and Beaver Creek Road. Accuracy, 7 feet, moving east, speed, 36 miles per hour. The UPS store, post office, 396 feet, ahead.
Post office.
Approaching walking path and steps. No Grown, Cannabis, 112 feet, ahead to the left.
Cannabis.
Verizon, mobile phone, 98 feet, to the right. Approaching Service Road, Beaver Creek Road, and First Street. Approaching Park Place Court and Forsyth Road. Relevant buildings, 154 feet, to the right. Approaching Highway I-205, or 213, or 213, and Highway I-205. Traveling northeast along Highway I-205, or 213. State Farm, Insurance, 655 feet, ahead to the left. Traveling northeast along Highway I-205, or 213. Intersection with Highway ramp ahead. Accuracy, 7 feet, moving, northeast, speed, 53 miles per hour. Safeway, Supermarket, 773 feet, ahead to the left. Approaching Highway I-205, or 213. Farmers Insurance, yes, speed, 50 feet, ahead to the right. Traveling north along Highway I-205, or 213.
And now the last thing I want to do is play a snippet of just kind of walking out on the streets and the different information that Voice Vista gives me. It'll tell me the intersections coming up. It'll tell me how fast I'm traveling, in which direction, and that kind of thing. So here we go.
Near Southeast Sunnyside Road. Intersection with Service Road 98 feet away. Heading west along Southeast Sunnyside Road. Intersection with Southeast Cresswell Cove Lane and Merging Lane 487 feet ahead. Accuracy, 7 feet, moving, west, speed, 3 miles per hour. Heading west along Southeast Sunnyside Road. Intersection with Southeast 162nd Avenue 433 feet ahead. Intersection with Southeast 162nd Avenue 179 feet ahead to the right. Heading west along Service Road. Intersection with walking path 178 feet ahead to the right. Crosswalk 49 feet ahead to the left. Crosswalk 48 feet behind to the left. Happy Valley Martial Arts Sports Center 163 feet ahead to the right. 16,144 Southeast Happy Valley Town Center Drive. Intersection with Southeast 157th Avenue and Southeast Sunnyside Road 684 feet ahead. Southeast Sunnyside and 157th Bus Stop 74 feet ahead. Happy Valley Food Hall, commercial close by. Accuracy 7 feet, moving west, speed 3 miles per hour. Heading west along Southeast Sunnyside Road. Intersection with Southeast 157th Avenue 131 feet ahead. Crosswalk 59 feet ahead.
Come on. Ready?
Heading west along Southeast Sunnyside Road. Intersection with Southeast Sunnyside Road 721 feet ahead to the left. Pitch 32 feet ahead to the right. Southeast Sunnyside and 157th stop, public transport 85 feet ahead. Accuracy 7 feet, moving west, speed 3 miles per hour. Playground close by. 13,046 Southeast Mead Hill Avenue. Marker, near Southeast Mead Hill Avenue staircase Sunnyside, 24 feet ahead. Marker, near Southeast Mead Hill Avenue Hill right turn, 30 feet, north. 13,052 Southeast Mead Hill Avenue. Approaching intersection. Southeast Kempton Court, goes left. Southeast Mead Hill Avenue, goes right. Alert, sidewalk to mailbox, 306 feet ahead. Alert, sidewalk to mailbox, 257 feet ahead. Accuracy, 8 feet, moving, southwest, speed, 2 miles per hour. Marker, near Southeast Kempton Film close by.
And that's kind of some basics about Voice Vista. Hopefully you found this helpful. This app is really handy, and I'm sure they are updating it all of the time. I really enjoy using it. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.
Where to even begin? Gadgets in our clutches, brilliant and pristine. Learning blind tech, love what a wondrous scene. Eyes closed, we're seeing, hearts beating and believing. Together we're achieving, no hurdles deceiving. Desiree's leading, all the knowledge we're feeding. Laughing while we're reading, this tech quest succeeding.